all. Okay, I've been meaning to do this video for a long time, so let's get straight to it. I had surgery, brachy surgery, and bunionectomy also at the same time on this one foot, my left foot. On my right foot, I don't have brachy. I only had it on my left. And it has been 2 years. So this is a 2-year update. And I just wanted to discuss a couple things everybody's sort of been wondering, and I've been getting some inquiries as to what's going on with pain or any issues and things like that. Okay, so really quickly, I'm going to take off my shoe. I went out this morning with my shoes on. This is a very low heel. It's not, it's quite small. And I have had my shoes on now for 5 hours. And I do not have pain as in the context of when you're having surgery and right after post-op. It's not like that anymore. It's not that kind of pain. So I'm going to take off my shoe so you can sort of, and my sock, so it's not going to be pretty. I'm sure it's sort of sweaty and whatever have you. But I'm doing this for a reason. I want to discuss the pinky toe, because the pinky toe is sort of an issue, and I've discussed this before, but without a video. So you can see the scar. It's pretty flat. You can see the scar is flat. It's because when you're wearing shoes and you have pressure on scars, they become flat. So hypertrophic scars, which are the 3D version of scars, you'll get that. Some skin pigmentation more than others, but the fact that there's been a lot of pressure on this makes it nice and flat. So my toe is working just fine, but I'm finding in my shoe, like towards the end of my errands, I could feel this skin rubbing inside the shoe. This shoe is a fairly new shoe. I wore it maybe 3 times before my surgery, so it's a pretty new shoe. Getting my bunion in here was horrible before, so now it's just fine. And it's a low heel, so there isn't a lot of pressure. But I did find, and it's not really pointed, you know, it has a nice roundness to it. But my pinky toe here is an issue. It rubs up against, and I get blisters quite often. I've had many blisters right in this little area here. I'm going to use this pointer so my hand's not in the way. Right in this area here, I get quite a bit of blisters whenever I wear closed shoes. The higher the heel, it seems like the more blister I get. So anyway, so that's an issue. You have to realize that your toe, when you have brachy, for most people, this pinky toe lives underneath, you know, your brachy toe, which is normally right up here. It's elevated and it's here. And this toe, because there's nothing underneath, just so for the whole of its life, this is where it's been, you know. So usually your pinky toe is very narrow and has never really had any shoe and stuff up against it. So after surgery, it goes into sort of this new forced position. It used to be like this, you know, and now it's like this in the light. It used to be in the dark and now it's in the light. So it now rubs it up against, and it doesn't have a callus. Hold on, I'm trying to get comfortable here. It doesn't have a callus. I'm going to take my shoe off of my right foot, which never had brachy. I did have a bunion on this foot and had that done about 6 months after my brachy surgery on my other foot. If I can get my sock off here. Like I said, it's not pretty, but I just wanted to get the reality of it. I wasn't looking for a pretty video, just the realities. So, you know, this toe has always been in this position. So it developed a callus throughout its lifetime. You know, there's a callus here. You don't think of it as a callus, you never think about it, but now that I have this different thing going on this foot, I realize that this is going to take time to develop. And the first year of my surgery, I wore flip-flops all the time. Now, I thought that after my brachy surgery, I would be able to put a lot of posts online on my blog about how life changes, not only just with the foot, but how life changes after brachy. And I have not been able to do that because of personal things going on in my life. So for 2 years, life was not what I thought it was going to be, not just because of the surgery, but like I said, some other things. So I have not been active. Life sort of threw me a couple of curveballs, and I have not been active I have been more sedentary and more indoors than ever before in my entire life, which drove me nuts for the past 2 years. But we'll be doing a lot of things, and I hope to be posting. In fact, I'm so excited. I actually am going to be doing yoga for the first time tomorrow. I'm going to my very first beginner's yoga class. And of course, you know, you sort of being barefoot is the norm. The only remaining issue, I recently had somebody send me an inquiry about the pain. There is no pain other than, you know, the blister that I get here. And what I do is I actually will wear a Band-Aid on this to just avoid the rubbing. It's actually easier just to wear a Band-Aid. I was in a hurry this morning and didn't put any on. And this is winter time. I am taking this video at winter time. Otherwise, I'd be in flip-flops. But the only thing with me that I have left is what I'm calling a sciatic nerve issue. You have to go back and read my post. Go look on the labels on the right-hand side of the blog and look up sciatic. I'm sure it's there. And all the posts about that. I'm not going to go into all of that. And but I still don't know what happened. I don't know if it was nicked, my sciatic nerve, which would start about here. So I don't know if it was nicked somehow during surgery, and that's what caused it. I don't know if it's because I had the congestion that I was experiencing on this leg. Again, you have to look at the blog and look up congestion to know what I'm talking about in this leg, which caused a lot of pain when I was lowering the leg. So when I did dishes, and I live alone, and I didn't have a whole lot, I didn't have company on a daily basis. I lived alone. So if I wanted to go get something, I had to get it myself. And I had to lower this leg. So when I did that, I had a lot of congestion and it was a lot of pain. So in order to avoid that, if I wanted to peel an apple or whatever in the kitchen, I would literally put my leg up on the counter because it would alleviate the congestion and the pain. I don't know if having my leg up like that, I've always been very flexible, but I don't know if doing that aggravated, you know, you have this huge long stretch going on in your leg when you have your foot up, your leg up that high. Imagine being at the counter and just plopping sort of your leg up. And I can't tell you, because I was on medication, pain medication, if I was hurting myself or straining myself, I wouldn't know it because I was on medication. I also was sitting in a certain position. I was sort of sitting with my leg reclined, and then of course my back would recline back, and I don't know, and your sciatic nerve goes all the way up to the back of your leg to like where your tailbone is, like through your butt and your butt cheek, and then around your tailbone. And so I was sort of sitting a lot on that area, and I think that maybe that may have done something. So I really don't know. I don't have an answer, but I know that I still have an issue. I am convinced at this point that it will totally be okay and remediate itself and heal itself once I become active. I feel like I went to therapy once, physical therapy once, to get some exercises. That's also in the blog. And he had examined me and done some really good guy. He had really had me do some exercises and to see what my resistance was. He tested on both of my legs and everything. And he said that my left side, my left hip was actually a lot weaker than my right. Of course, because I was using my right leg and not my left for 3 months. I had it up and couldn't do anything. And even after 3 months, you still can't do a whole lot. So, and I have not been able to get back into the swing of things physically to get out and do things. So, for 2 years. So again, it's not just because of the foot, it's just some other things. So I'm convinced now that as I go out and I start walking and I start exercising and getting myself back out there, I will strengthen a lot of things happening in this leg. You know, I feel like my butt cheek on my left side even feels different than the one on my right. I can feel the nerve in there, my sciatic nerve, and it's just, sometimes it's just, you know, it's throbbing. I really feel that will remediate itself after a while. So other than that, that's the only thing that's going on. And like I said, I'm convinced it'll get better with exercise. So someone else I don't think would have these issues. I really don't. I think that they will live with someone, have help, and they won't have to deal with a lot of things that I dealt with, and so it'll be fine. One of the things I wanted to show you, which I discussed in my blog, and I don't know if I explained it well in pictures, so I'll explain it in video, is, so this is the profile of my foot, and you can see how how that toe still remains lower than the others. And I explain as to why in the blog. You'll have to go look up those posts. So that toe, see there as I'm doing that, that's what it looks like. Let's see if I can give you another view from this side. So, see that? I can, it moves, which is something that the doctors did not guarantee. They weren't willing to say that I would still have that. They told me you're going to lose a lot of movement. And I think that they have to say that because they just don't know. It's different from every person. But you can see that that's the thing that I want to say about this toe that you have to realize is that this toe is straight while your other toes are curved, meaning like if my hand represents let me take off my ring. If my hand represents my foot, okay, your toes are sort of curved like this a little bit. This is the plane of your foot, and they're sort of curved like this, so that when you wear heels and you bet if this is the floor and you're wearing your heels and you're like that, they then become straight, that's how they go. So right now the toe appears to be pretty good. I could have used maybe another millimeter or two on this to match my other foot. But this is completely straight, while these are not. These are curved. So when I go into my heels, I'll try to post a picture of what I mean below this video. When I go into my heels, the toes sort of stretch out a little longer. They stretch out because they become flat against the plane of the shoe. This one's already flat. So what happens is this toe, when I'm in heels, if I'm in sandals and I have a nice strap that goes across and I'm in really, 3-inch heels or so, this toe looks a lot shorter than it does right now in comparison to the one next to it. So the fact that this one is a little bit shorter compared to this one than it should be really stands out when I'm in a high heel shoe, like with just a strap where you can sort of see my toes. Because this is completely straight. It's sort of like a rod. It's like this, where the other toes are like that. So that's the other thing that has to develop underneath. You have to develop sort of a callus underneath here, because this area of your other toes don't really touch when you're in flat shoes and you have closed flat shoes on. This area of your toe doesn't touch the inside of the shoe. Only this area does. But with this, because of the way the surgery has been done, unless they find a different way to do surgery, it's really straightened and flat. So when I get into a pair of shoes, this whole part of the toe touches so it has to develop a callus over time, and you'll find it, I found it very uncomfortable. This area actually hurt quite a bit. I felt like the bone was like right there and there wasn't enough meat between the bone and the shoe, and it would sort of, it bothered me for a while, but it did get better. I'm very happy with the surgery. I think at some point you have to just say, hey, it is what it is. I'm able to wear sandals, which is very gratifying. I will be going to the shore, or what most people would call the beach, and enjoying many activities and not having to hide my foot in the sand, all of that. And I'm going to try to take pictures and post them immediately with my iPhone, which is not the same camera that I use for all of my other posts. So from here on out, some of the pictures may be a little grainy and very impromptu, but I think everybody's used to that. We live in the world of Facebook and Twitter, and everybody's sort of used to very impromptu pictures. So my pictures may not be as clear anymore, but they will let you know that I'm out and about doing things. And I hope that encourages some people to know that life will be a little different for the better. So there it is. It sort of stays in place. It doesn't come further up than that, but I'm happy with it. I really want to thank everybody for being so supportive and looking at the blog and listening to the videos and looking into it and asking me questions, and so I'm really grateful for that. Please ask me anything you want. I will definitely try to get back to you. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and just follow the blog. The next year should be very exciting. Summertime is coming, and I'll be doing a lot outdoors and taking tons and tons of pictures. And it's going to be great. I'm excited. So thanks again. I'll talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.